I don't know if this is working. Maybe it's working, maybe it isn't. Hello, welcome to this random live stream. Dante is here with you, and I had this idea for a while to just talk and interact with people who want to hop on live, not in the channeling me, but in the Dante the human. Oh, it is working. So I made this video and let's see what happens. It should be fun. So the energies today are quite something because, well, first of all, Mercury is stationing direct, and that's a great thing. Mercury is conjunct the North Node, so it's in a different sign in Cancer. So Mercury will move through its shadow period, and any of the confusions or things that have come up, debilitating our intuition or our flow of connection, is going to move forward. But the challenge of today is Mars conjunct Chiron, and Mars is going to go retrograde again later on, and will then pass Chiron over a second and a third time. Chiron is this archetype of the wounded healer. So the wounds that we hold teach us how to heal them. And Mars in Aries, Aries is the sign of the individual. It's all about self-expression. It's also about creativity, how we express the creative flow of our energy. And it is in Aries, sometimes, I mean, Mars is ruled by Aries. So this is bringing a lot of power to our will, our sense of self. It can override our ego a little bit and make us feel like we just need to assert ourselves. And going over Aries and Chiron, it can bring up wounds of how we have felt ourselves to be, robbed of selfhood and robbed of our individual creative expression. And that's coming through in the collective a lot as people are really asserting, this is who I am, this is what I stand for, in sometimes beautiful, sometimes harsh ways. And we'll see this continuing. Chiron was last in Aries during the waves of the counterculture movement that initiated a lot of the New Age thinking and initiated a lot of people going into, searching for alternative means of expressing themselves and breaking free from the establishment. And the highest expression of this would be to, what was that? Would be to, why am I hearing myself talking? Would be to, follow through that pattern again and break through those things that limit us and create a whole new culture. Maybe that'll happen. Mars going through Aries will continue to go over Black Moon Lilith and also over Aries. So we may see chaos ensuing. Mars and Aries has sometimes provoked war, especially retrograde in Aries, really. And I think there's already a lot of conflict out there. So it's really a time to be present with our triggers. And what I'm noticing today with people is like a lot of intense stuff can come up suddenly. And I found myself in certain little bursts of anger. I found others in that. And it's important to really allow that and hold space for that. And, it really came to my mind today that we are so often not fully allowing our emotions. And it's better to give yourself the space to vent and move through it than it is to constantly be in a passive aggressive state or constantly have that emotion in the background. And there's even some sectors of this spiritual love and light community where we are in this mode of not expressing intense emotions, presenting the facade that everything is great and dandy within us, rather than being authentically where we are and where we're at. And I noticed that people who really show up to their process and let those emotions vent and move through and express them fully, when they come into, the post-release phase, there's a natural lightness and levity. The people who are always resisting that release and vent process are oftentimes, holding that anger, holding that sadness or anxiety constantly in the background and trying to work around it. But actually, you're letting it rule you when you don't just express it and let it through. So sometimes we just need to go out there and primal scream and just like, I'm getting this stuff out and I am empowered and I am not going to let my anger, my sadness, or my anxiety or my fear rule my life. And instead, I'm going to be an empowered, amazing, magical creator. So that's what the energies are really saying now with the astrology and with what I'm just feeling with a lot of people. But I have a lot of joy and optimism as well. And I don't know, this was kind of again, a random idea. I'm checking to see if anybody's actually like tuned in with this. People gonna join. So really, like, the idea of this is that we can have creative dialogues. If you have questions or you want to say hi, I'm kind of really super occupied a lot of the time. A lot of people are wanting to chat me up and stuff, and I don't. Oh God, I don't always have space for the instant messages, but I think this is so much fun if we have these random spontaneous Zoom meetings that are live where people can just say, hey, what's up? And if you have anything to say or share, hop on the Zoom or type it in the box. I didn't see what was really written in that box. Maybe people left comments. I don't know how I can look at the comments on the live stream and still be present here. It's a little bit complicated, but I'll figure it out. Hi, beautiful. Praise the Lord. Yes. Yeah. Make it quiet. Make it quiet. Praise the Lord. Yeah. Praise the Lord. So is anyone here with me? Sup? Hi, Steve Coleman. How's it going? I'm chilling here. I'm just talking about random stuff. I don't know what you want me to talk about. Hop on the Zoom if you like. Let's bring up that astrology wheel again. It's interesting to look at, isn't it? I'm bored with astrology. Screw that. Like I said, totally random. So if we allow ourselves to feel anger and acknowledge it, aren't we attracting negative energy? No. It's actually the opposite. When we are dismissing the anger, it goes into the subconscious. And at the subconscious level, then it's altering our field behind the scenes all the time. So when you acknowledge it and express it, it's confronting it directly and saying, okay, I see you, and I recognize that there's a belief or an idea that I'm holding on to that is causing this. And we can only recognize what that belief is when we really confront the emotion and ask ourselves a question of, what am I believing about myself that could cause me to feel this emotion? What am I believing about myself that would cause me to feel angry? What could I possibly be believing that would make me feel anger? Is it that I don't have intrinsic power? Is it that I don't have a right to set boundaries? Is it that I believe that I'm powerless? And once we get in touch with that, then we have the chance to shift our perspective. So if the belief is I am powerless, then the opposite would be I am powerful. I'm a powerful creator. Do you have evidence for that? Have you seen ways that you are powerful? And really, by acknowledging what's going on beneath the surface, then we give ourselves the space to create a new belief. Because if we constantly deny the beliefs that are actually there, it's like, Pollyanna not wanting to face reality. The rose-colored glass is always making things look better than they really are. So could talk all about not facing reality. That's a really beautiful thing. I make you laugh. I'm grateful. Yeah, so again, more of this idea of really confronting and, oh, people are here. Laura's here. Oh, look, I didn't see I can allow to talk more. panelists. Hi, Laura.
Hi, Dante.
You're here now.
I am. Yay. Yay, yay,
Beautiful.
yay. Thanks.
How's it going? Yeah.
Good. I do have a question I would love for you to speak on.
Mm-hmm.
We're human.
Yeah.
So we have these feelings that come up.
Totally.
And the one you spoke about earlier was anger.
Yeah.
And so I'm concerned, not concerned, but I have a thing about the anger, the feeling the anger. I know when I feel the anger, what I'm doing is I am vibing in a negative way.
Yeah.
And so when I do that, what happens is then I'm becoming the magnet for negativity.
Yeah.
And so I understand we're supposed to allow the feelings, we're supposed to honor them because they're part of our humanity.
Totally.
But then on the other hand, then I'm magnetizing all this negativity to me, is what my brain is telling me.
Totally. And that's true and valid, because we are attracting what we're vibrating at. But the thing is like, if we didn't have anger within us, it wouldn't be possible for us to feel anger at all. So if it wasn't something we were holding in our being on some level, we couldn't really hold that frequency for very long.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, we're only feeling something that we're holding at a deeper level, and we can't release it until we allow ourselves to feel it. And to feel it, you know, it's different when we just give space to it or when we project it outwards. Because if we project outwards onto another person or onto, you know, any living energy, then it's reflected back to us. But if we feel it without reacting and without acting upon it, then we aren't really attracting that negativity back to us.
Okay. Interesting. So it's still about being centered and being certain of who I am. Totally. And not being and not allowing that anger to knock me off my center, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because I remember them talking about like depression. Okay, depression isn't me. It's something that's happening to me. And if I look at it as something that's happening to me, I can put it away from me. And then it doesn't affect me as much. And so the anger, I guess, could be the same thing. It's just so hard because when it comes up, boy, I'm so used to reacting to it. And then I feel like I'm like, oh, don't do that, Laura, stop it. I want to bang myself in the head. Stop feeling this anger. Just and be the right, start the vibing right and that kind of thing.
Well, when you suppress it again, it just goes back into the like little box you're holding it in inside, you know? And then when you make it conscious, you can be aware of it. And, you know, the magic happens when you can feel all of the rage and you're not projecting it outwards and you're not smashing something or blaming somebody else. It's even, you know, one of my favorite things to do with any emotion is to make a sound for it. Like, okay, invite this into my heart and then just make a beautiful because, you know, by giving expression to it, we move it through our body and we release it from our system. We at least allow the charge of it to dissipate. And those are just some gentle sounds. You can even like do that whole toning practice. I know we've done like chakra toning in different ceremonies together where you, you know, make sounds for a prolonged period of time, focusing on that energy and allowing your voice to be a channel for it to release.
Okay, good.
Yeah. And the emotions, they're also like portals into what we're believing, because our belief systems, how we perceive reality, and you're studying NLP right now, so this is probably part of the program. Our belief systems create our experience of reality. When we're feeling that emotion, we can really have that beautiful window to get in touch with, what am I believing about myself to be true? So when you feel anger, vent it out and ask that question. So what belief is beneath this anger?
Okay. Okay. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't look
So
like anybody else is on.
there's 4 people watching though. Steve Coleman asks, so acknowledge it, but don't act. Does this push those deeper feelings down for later?
Oh. Yeah.
Acknowledging it and feeling it without acting doesn't push it down. It's when we kind of, act in a way to suppress it. Like, okay, I'm angry now and I'm just going to distract myself with something else. It's giving our space to just sit there with it and breathe into it, feel it, and be kind of curious about it. There's curiosity, I find, is one of the most powerful tools we have, because fear is a strategy of negative belief systems. So negative belief systems are really like entities. We talk about entities and possession. And the ironic thing is, a lot of times when people actually think they're possessed, it's just a belief that's working through them. So we dismantle those beliefs when we stop fearing what's inside of us. So we are holding on to a lot. All of us are holding on to a lot, but the fear of what we're holding and what we're engaging with inside of ourselves is really the tool of those negative saboteur belief systems to prevent us from looking at them. So instead of, letting the fear rule us, we acknowledge, okay, this fear must mean I'm moving in the right direction. It must mean that I'm getting close to that thing I really need to excavate and discover what it is. So curiosity, awe and wonder and interest. When we view the world from that lens, we open up a lot of great potential. The Celestine Prophecy is one of the amazing, most poetic ways of expressing that they explain through this beautiful story that how when you focus on the beauty of the world around you, you take in energy. And even these dark bits in us, when we can have appreciation for the story that is being told through our beliefs and through our experience, and just have this curiosity, ooh, I wonder why that's there, that fear slowly starts to diminish.
Wonder why.
Magic, right?
Yes. Yes. It's a lot of fun to watch it happen.
Yeah. Alchemy in the works is very magical.
With the NLP, the something I've been talking about for years now is words. Words are so powerful.
Yeah.
And we're trying to get to the root of why people do what they do, and then give them a different script.
Yeah.
And so to release all of that, and it's fascinating. I'm sorry. Okay, he stopped now. So it's really fascinating to learn different techniques of doing that, of helping them, because it is all about their belief system and what's sorry.
What story are we running?
Right. Yeah, what their belief system is and how it's like holding them back or damaging them and damaging their relationships. And so just a simple suggestions while they're meditating, and all of a sudden their life changes and for the better. It's just amazing to watch it happen. I'm very excited to see it and to be part of that. Yeah.
I love that healing power that we all have. I've studied a little bit of NLP, and when I was looking at it, I was like, a lot of these things are pieces that I've already kind of picked up over the years in other forms of healing, though it's such a powerful tool. And, you know, dismantling this negative self-talk. One thing that I've become more aware of over this past year or so is like, you know, negative self-talk. And I would kind of use negative self-talk very jokingly. I'd be like, oh, I'm stupid. Oh, I'm crazy. But, you know, I would think that I wouldn't really mean it. But then, you know, why is this coming up as my joke unconsciously? Like, why is that the first thing that I'm saying as a sort of defense? It was a defense mechanism. To not take full responsibility was to kind of make my significance smaller or make my capability less in a joking way. But even that was a sort of self-deception. So yeah, changing the story we tell ourselves and noticing all of those moments we're saying, I'm not capable, life is working against me. Those are really like, you know, the tip of the iceberg of our beliefs. And if we just look at those thoughts and the reversal process, it's amazing. Like, write the thought down and then what's the opposite thought? And look for evidence for that thought.
Right.
You can
practice it. Practice saying it.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah, that's what the NLP does. The sessions are recorded, so you can the client can use it again and again and again to exactly. You know, continue working on themselves. It's really that's the cool part.
Yeah. Steve is asking what NLP is. It's called neuro-linguistic programming.
Right.
It's a psychological submodality.
It's actually, he talks a lot about hypnosis in it. So I don't feel bad throwing that term out because it is a way. And Charlie's thought is that we're always in trance.
Totally.
Always in trance. And so we can always get that script flipped because we're in trance already.
Yeah.
That's it. So everything is trance.
Everything is a trance. Very like going very metaphysical out there. Like the channel beings will say that we're only experiencing physical reality because we believe it's physical.
Right.
Look at scientific perspective, there's more empty space within this than anything than is matter, but we experience that it's physical because we've incarnated into this. And there's so many belief systems that we just received at this subconscious level that really allowed us the experience of physical reality. Though if you really go far enough into changing your belief systems, like you can develop pretty powerful things. And I mean, you do Reiki as well. You're a Reiki master, and I'm sure you've like experienced when people don't really believe in the process of working with energy, their experience is different than if they suspend their disbelief and allow it to happen.
Right. Yes. I've also seen people's minds changed too on that front. It's a lot that's interesting. They felt the magic.
Yeah.
That's the best. That's when I know exactly where I was, that I was there, I was supposed to be there, and I was doing the right thing. And somebody's eyes opened up, and yay.
I know, I love it. Transforming realities every moment.
Yes.
And I think that's the positive aspect of what's happening in the world right now, is that people are like seeing, you know, the way that we've been doing things isn't working. So they're becoming, in many senses, more open to alternative expressions and experiences of reality.
Right.
Hopefully. Hopefully.
Hey. Sorry. We're getting guests, and the dog has to bark at each one of them.
Yeah. Dogs do that. It's nothing compared to where I'm at in Guatemala. The dogs have like this cacophony almost every night. So I don't know what provokes it, because some nights they don't do it, but most nights they do. You know, there's like hundreds of street dogs in a small town here, and they're just totally insane. So me and dog spirit have something to work out together. Hello, Heital. Oh, the love is radiating right now. I'm very happy to hear that. And thank you, Sean, as well. So if anybody wants, there's the Zoom link, and you can hop on and talk to me and us about random stuff. I don't know what this is all about. We're just flowing with it.
Just flowing. It's cool.
Gonna take a sip of my probiotics.
Mm.
Probiotics, your gut is your second brain. So by replenishing your gut flora, your whole psychology flows easier.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's so true.
I love it.
Mm.
Hello, everybody. We're chilling.
Chilling.
What else is new, Laura?
I've been working with here you go again. It's called My Daily Choice, and we sell CBD products and other things, but
amazing.
the CBD is the best. That's the main seller. And I've been helping people. The testimonials are so great. I feel so good about how much people have been helped by these products. I mean, myself and my dog.
Oh, amazing. I love CBD.
CBD, yeah.
It really helps with the inflammation, with, anxiety, so many things. It just kind of reboots the body. Good against many diseases as well.
Yeah. So I've been recently been working a little bit harder on that, and actually made 2K, which is the first time I've been to this rank. And sit down. What are you doing? So I got a little bit extra money. Yay! That's
cool.
fun. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. It's marketing, but I really believe in the product.
Yeah.
Like I said, I take it myself. I did a picture thing. I was thinking, oh, it'd be cool to do like a day in CBD, my CBD day. And so I did it, and I put it on my stories on Facebook. And so far, last I saw, 109 people loved it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, the plant medicine is really surging right now. I think it's part of our reawakening to nature, and part of, all the changes in our earth is like we're disconnected from nature. And by discovering how powerful these plants are, we remember, we're meant to just be out there and loving nature, and nature has so much love for us too.
Right. Yes. We get stuck inside.
Yeah, I don't like being stuck inside.
So that's been fun. I've been talking to so many people, mostly about the CBD, but I also have I've got 3 Reiki 1 classes coming up soon. Yeah. I looked at my friends and was like, well, you enjoy Reiki when I give it to you. What about getting it? And so all of a sudden, no, actually there's 4 of them that I'm going to be working with. So that's exciting. Just do a little Reiki 101 and attunements and
nice.
Yeah.
I taught Reiki for the first time in a while last week, so it comes in and out of my field. Yeah. And focus more on channeling now. But Reiki is amazing, and I think it's a tool that it's important to have that ability to just, realize that you can heal yourself.
Right.
That you are a channel of energy.
Exactly.
Anybody else have any questions or want to share something who's watching? I keep thinking something's changing on the screen, but it really isn't. I really meant it when I said random live stream. Totally random.
Alrighty. Well, I really need to go and make some dinner.
Okay.
I'm hungry.
Thanks
but I
for
saw
popping
you on and was like, I'm going to talk to Dante again. Yay.
Yeah, thanks for popping on the random live stream. It was good seeing you and sharing some wisdom. I think it's helped some people, and maybe we'll continue to do so.
Yes, I hope so. That'd be great.
Much love to you. Love you. Blessings.
I love you too.
Adios.
Bye-bye.
So I'm just here by myself again on the random live stream and still randomly talking about things and talking about anything you want to hear about. And maybe you want to see the lake for a second. I don't know if it's going to screw up my connection. I don't think it will. It'll work. It's working outside as well. Oh, it looks like there's a delay in like what people see and what's actually happening in the video, but that's okay. If you look outside, there's this amazing lake. I live right next to this lake, and there's a volcano that's called San Pedro volcano. They haven't erupted in some hundreds of years, but they're dormant. They're not going to do that. If they did, they would probably hurt us or kill us. Anyway, there's like actually more volcanoes there, but from here you can't really see them through the trees. I love the sound of the waves every day. The waves make me feel really relaxed, really open. So, what else do you want to talk about? People have something to say? Hop on Zoom. It's funny, I'm finding Facebook is such a heavy environment oftentimes these days, and people just going off on each other, or there's just really mindless stuff. So it brings me joy to kind of feed more positivity into the space. So love, lightness, aliens. They prefer the term extraterrestrials, of course. But you know, all of those things that can lift us up and fill us with more love. So, looks like there's not many people here. I don't know, what should I talk about, people? What do you want to hear about? Where should I start with my meditative journey? I've been exclusively working with chanting and I've never tried full mantras. Well, there's a lot of different kinds of meditation. So, you know, the more like traditional Eastern approach is that, you know, stillness, sitting upright, and finding that space in between your thoughts. That's really beautiful if that's what calls to you. And it does help us learn to like change our state of consciousness and tap into that deeper peace and sublime energy that's always there in the background. So I love meditating in that sense. Working with full mantras, well, there's a lot of kirtan recordings, kirtan, you can look into those if you really like that idea of mantras. Chanting mantras really helps to bring us deeper inside, and when we chant mantras from these different traditions, they connect us with certain energies and archetypes. So, you know, depending on what energy you want to bring into your life, you can chant a mantra according to it. So, you know, there's Ganesha. Ganesha is the remover of obstacles and the initiate, and kind of when we are finding a challenge or when we need to root and ground down and find core stability, Ganesha is great. Lakshmi brings abundance and love and helps us open our hearts and find trust. And there's Kali that helps us get out of our egos, get our ego out of our way and destroy the ego. There's Durga that kind of unites all of the forces, grants us protection. Krishna, mantras of love. And those are the mantras and chants I've really worked with. Though, you know, talking about meditation, we also have guided meditations that help us activate our imagination. And as somebody who's channeling and connects with many beings, imagination is like the doorway that allows us to go there. So with guided meditations, you start to connect with your own inner archetypes and those kind of forces that are at work within ourselves. It helps us understand ourselves better and activates this more visual component of our mind. And it is very powerful to do guided meditations. There's also meditations that you just do on the chakras, focusing on each individual chakra and breathing into it, perhaps in combination with visualization or perhaps on its own, and then slowly going up from the base of your spine to the crown chakra, allowing them all to open. What other kind of meditations do we have? Yeah, that's what I've got with that. Taking the guided meditation even deeper, there's, shamanic journeying that activates the theta brainwave state much easier. So sound meditations, listening to the sounds of the energies around you. There's the candle meditation, focusing your eyes on the candle and gazing right into it and making that single pointed focus kind of window to open you up to higher consciousness as well. We have so many different tools. I'm seeking stability for the world. Yeah, stability for the world, that's something we really need, isn't it? Though, we have right now Uranus and Taurus until 2026. Uranus renovates, restructures, innovates, transforms things. And Taurus is all about, well, for one, financial structures, but Taurus is also, the sign of Gaia herself in many senses. So with Uranus there, it's like the whole way we're doing things in the world is changing and transforming as well. So we all want stability for the world, but we can't base what's outside on our internal reality. We can't say, okay, I'm not going to be stable until the world's stable. We have to be that stability first. We have to be the stability we want to see in the world. We have to be stable channels to let that energy ripple out. And that's kind of why I'm doing so much of this now, is because just by, sharing with people this love, this energy, it ignites that in the world. And it helps people start to see love is who we are. The more that ripples out person by person, the more the change will be there. But if we just focus on the negativity that's being spouted and worried about this, worried about that, that lowers our vibration and that destabilizes us quite a lot. The truth is, no matter what happens, we all have the power to tap into the natural abundance that's always there. And abundance comes from the earth. It doesn't come from all of these concepts and structures we've created. So redefining our definition of abundance is so key right now. That helps us to really ground. And if you really listen close to the earth, you'll feel such a deep pulse of love. And as you listen deeper to the earth, there's also this true call for us to come and help the earth and recreate a healthy, harmonious flow on earth. What more did people say? Hello, everybody. Hello, Aliko. Welcome. I'm just talking about random things. If you want to hop on Zoom, we can chat. If you want to type something in, we can do that as well. But having a bright and brilliant day. Talking about stability for the earth. What else can we say about that? Well, this climate change is really real, and we've almost pushed the scales. So we have to kind of look to the future of what it means as the Earth's climate changes and taking care of everybody out there. Also understanding that the way that we live really allows for the spread of these diseases being so humanly concentrated in these cities, which isn't really that natural. Humans shouldn't be this close together in a sense, at least with this intensity of technology. So the many channeled beings are saying that COVID is only spreading the way that it is because we've destroyed so many natural ecosystems and put ourselves in such artificial bubbles. And we won't really heal from the experience of pandemics until we recreate a more natural system and we start restoring these natural ecosystems, because again, these diseases that move from animals into humans are released to the human populace only when we destroy the natural ecosystems. And of course, this COVID was created in a lab, from what I get the intel about, though it was a disease taken from a disease spreading from animals to humans and then studied and then manipulated. So it's a bit of both. It's a bit of the naughtiness of human interference and also just the way that we wreak havoc on our ecosystem, bringing problems. So reconnect with the earth, be deep with that earth energy. The earth is such a powerful ally for us. Retreat back into that bubble. And the solution they hand at us is to retreat back into that bubble. Yeah. Retreating into the bubble of our own reality and creation. And you know, this solitude is really good on a lot of us. I see a lot of people thriving more than ever. And I think my experience of pandemic land has been actually a lot more positive than me. And one thing that I realized is that the way that I so much of the time externalize my energy as an extrovert, and but just as a very kind of like community seeking extrovert, like be a part of this community, be a part of this tribe, be a part of this or that, it really sucked and siphoned a lot of energy from me, because I was always, you know, seeking to belong and fit in, and a lot of this creative energy wasn't flowing in the direction of where I wanted it to flow. And I've really found such a deep, you know, wellness in my body by, you know, making it a priority every day to do 1 to 3 hours, usually around an hour and a half or two, of yoga, or not just yoga, you know, yin yoga, qigong, and some physiotherapy exercises, because being here, this is our earth vessel, this is our chunk of the earth. You know, we don't need to own land, we own a body, right? And if we get this into alignment, our experience becomes so much clearer. Doing that and focusing creatively and really honing in, you know, what do I want to give back into the world, and what do I want to know more about, and allowing my gifts to flow. It's really brought me into such an grounded and abundant and flowing place. And there's still challenges, and sometimes I'm really like frustrated with what's going on in the world, and frustrated with the many sort of psychotic debacles that I see online and the ignorance I see. But I know that by expressing love and expressing my truth, I'm leaving an impact. And I know that ultimately love will win, but we just have to keep working at it, keep chugging along. Okay, I think this was a successful little play and journey. I don't know. It doesn't seem like anyone else is joining in. If people have questions, you can type them in. I'm probably gonna move along pretty soon. But I thought this was fun. Anyway, I love you all very much. And stay grounded and centered in your own hearts. Listen to what brings you to feel the most love. Express your truth. Be a powerful creator. You are a powerful creator. And those forces that you bring out into the world will always return onto you. The more you stay centered in your own vibration of love and allow that to guide you and motivate you to share it in the world in the ways that make you feel the best aligned in yourself, the more others are going to start to do the same. So now more than ever, we have to follow that example of being the change we want to see in the world. Glowing and shining bright. Love you as well, Steve. Beautiful. Hooray. Okay. I think that brings us to a close. Thank you very much. Blessings. Maybe we'll play the cute little chime for a second. Oh, that one's broken. Cute little chime. and peaceful vibrations in the end. I love singing. A powerful vibrational catalyst. I love this chime sound too. Okay. I'm gonna hit end for now. I love you. Goodbye.